I took a couple of weeks away from the business of self-publishing, and good Lord knows I came back with a loaded queue of some great information. In fact, there is an Amazon KDP alternative that has just put their hat into the ring. They are stepping it up in a massive way, and I anticipate I'm going to be covering them a lot more in the very near future. Also, a Storytell is going to be partnering with 11 Labs, an AI narration service, and Drafted Digital has a couple of different news articles, and TickTock's getting into self-publishing. Oh, there's so much I want to share with you in today's self-publishing news segment for July 10th of 2023. All right, let's start it out with any further ado here. I'm going to go on over into the first article here coming from Storytell. This was actually on June the 13th. I must have missed this item before I went on vacation. Storytell enters strategic partnership with 11 Labs and announces upcoming launch of new voice switcher feature. Now, this is fairly interesting because there are other companies like Google Play Books and Apple Books that are allowing for AI narration for audiobooks. Now, they have those ones natively integrated. It doesn't seem to be that you're supposed to upload your own AI narrated stuff. They want you to use their tools. But for Storytell, they have something with 11 Labs. Now, I'm going to tell you, a good friend of mine and previous guest here on this channel and future guest as well, he's going to be here in another month on my 200th episode, is Nick Thacker. Nick Thacker actually had played around with 11 Labs, and we were having a private conversation once where he shared with me his audiobook, and he played it. I'm listening. He's like, "What do you think?" And I'm kind of going, "Sounds good. Sounds like you. It's great." He goes, "It's AI." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So apparently 11 Labs can actually clone your voice and get it to where it sounds just like you. And I was pretty fooled by it. I mean, it sounded pretty good. Was it flawless? No. Because when you're told it's AI, obviously you're going to be starting to scrutinize those type of things. So this is an interesting step in a different direction than some people will be used to. Does this mean that AI is going to take over the job of voice narration? Probably not anytime soon, but this does give an alternative, an option to those cash-strapped authors who, let's say, for instance, they have a 120,000 word epic-length novel. They can't afford a narrator. That's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars for a good voiceover artist. So this is a good option to me. I think that's going to offer something to authors that really, really need this as an option. And Storytell's got a very big, wide reach. In fact, you actually can get into Storytell by way of Findaway Voices. And Storytell is essentially a subscription-based platform, kind of like Audible, but in my opinion, better because they're less skeezy about things. Speaking of audiobooks, the fine folks over at the Urban Writers want to help you out. If you're on a bit of a budget, they actually are offering 10% off audiobook narration with the code NarrationJuly. So if you visit my affiliate link at daylinks.com/urbanwriters and you use NarrationJuly, you will get 10% off at checkout. That's between July the 10th to July the 24th. I can't say enough nice things about the Urban Writers. I actually know the founders and owners of this company, and they are just awesome, fantastic people. And we actually have some collaborations here in the works that should be popping up at the end of summer, if not beginning of fall here in the United States. So give them a go if you're thinking about breaking into audiobook narration. All right, moving further forward here, Drafted Digital actually has two pieces of news, and one of them is pretty exciting. Gardner's is a new distribution partner with Drafted Digital. Now, Gardner's actually reaches quite a few other platforms that, say, Amazon doesn't reach and such. This is nice because according to what they say here in the article, Gardner's is the UK's leading wholesaler of books. They've been around for more than 30 years and they've been a partner of Smashwords. And see, that's where I had known Gardner's from before, was through Smashwords distribution since 2015. Gardner's serves some of the most notable retailers in UK, including Waterstones, the UK-based retailer operating over 300 stores in the UK and nearby countries, and Hive.co.uk, an online community-facing website that is home to a network of hundreds of independent brick-and-mortar bookstores across the UK. I am really excited to kind of see this come over. This means this is one of those steps of finally integrating Smashwords fully into Drafted Digital, because right now they're still separately functioning. Sure, you can publish to the Smashwords store by way of Drafted Digital, but you could still go publish to Smashwords directly. I think eventually, as a lot of the partners that were working with Smashwords or are working with Smashwords move over to Drafted Digital, we'll finally see that merge come full circle. So it's going to be a lot of fun here. Stay tuned to this channel because I will definitely update you on that full merge. Speaking of Drafted Digital, they did run into some issues more recently. They said, we've become aware of an issue with D2D print titles either not showing up immediately on Amazon or showing up as a pre-order after the pre-order has released. We've traced the issue to Amazon's internal handling of 979 ISBNs, which is causing some, but not all D2D print titles to be caught in this error. This issue is impacting both user-provided and D2D-provided ISBNs with the 979 prefix. So if you've got a 979 prefix on your ISBN, you'll know that because you look at it, it just says 979 at the very front of it. You may want to double check your books by way of Drafted Digital. So they wanted to kind of give you a heads up. This is something that was out of their hands, and it seems to be kind of a glitch that's happening over on Amazon more so than what Drafted Digital is creating on their end of things. I always love the fact that Drafted Digital is super transparent about what's going on, whether it's good or it's bad. All right, here's a bit of a deal that I wanted to share here with you. You can get 80% off hosting and a free transfer with my preferred web hosting service, SiteGround. SiteGround is absolutely fantastic. I've been with HostGator, they're garbage. I've been with GoDaddy, they're okay. They're just not as good. I went over to SiteGround. They are at a higher premium. Yes. Because it is 80% off, normally, let's say the lower plan is $14.99 per month. It is now $2.99 per month for your first year, which is pretty stinking good. I highly recommend you take advantage of this deal by visiting dalelinks.com/SiteGround and get your site transferred over there. You'll find out why I rave about these guys. They're fantastic, to be honest with you. And if you don't want to use my affiliate link, screw it. Just go over, get yourself 80% off. I mean, it's a good deal. Just a big heads up here. I actually didn't put a link to this inside the show notes, but I figured I'd probably go ahead and let you know. There's an important tax update for books sold in Brazil. Due to changes to tax regulations in Brazil, Apple now withholds taxes for all Apple book sales in Brazil. Will administer the collection and remittance of taxes to the appropriate tax authority on a monthly basis. You can view the amount of tax deducted from your proceeds starting in June of 2023 with your May earnings. Publishers based in Brazil aren't impacted by this change. So I just want to let you know, if you are publishing through Apple, you may want to be aware of that fact. All right, it is right now in the middle of the Smashwords July Summer Winter Sale. This is going from July 1st to July 31st. They do this every year. And any book that has been published through Smashwords, you have the option to discount it. Now, I believe you can still be able to enter your book for that if you haven't had the opportunity. I did my entire catalog, 75% off. I recommend go over, browse the shelves, see what kind of a good book you can pick up. Obviously, you can visit my author profile and get all of my books for 75% off, which is dirt cheap pricing, all right? I know that you are probably used to going over to Amazon, or maybe you're used to being over on my YouTube channel and you can go ahead and click the ebooks there. Just skip that. Go over to Smashwords, pick it up there all this month, 75% off. You cannot beat that with the stick. All right, going a little further forward here. We've talked about AI and some of its implications, and we're seeing some of these things roll out. OpenAI is being sued for training its AI with pirated books. Oh my gosh. So let me give you the TLDR on this one here. What ended up happening is that OpenAI and Microsoft, to a certain extent, scraped online information, and part of that information they used to curate the text generation they provide to their users. Now, of course, pirated book sites, they're free. So they scraped the pirated sites as well. And so there are actually a couple of TradPub authors that are a little salty about that. In fact, Paul Tremblay and Mona Awad actually have filed a class action lawsuit against OpenAI, accusing ChatGPT's parent company of copyright infringement. Some of you may recognize the name Paul Tremblay. He actually did the book Cabin at the End of the World, and it actually was turned into the movie with Dave Bautista in it called Cabin in the Woods, or something like that. Cabin in the Woods, or Knock at the Cabin. That's it. Knock at the Cabin. And, but yeah, so what's happening is, yeah, they're not supposed to be scraping those premium books. And so now those books that, haven't given permission are a little bit upset. And since it's a class action lawsuit, chances are very likely they've got a lot more people piling onto this to take a piece of the OpenAI pie. Yeah, so folks, please be careful if you're using any AI generation out there between text and art. I'm telling you, this is one of those cases. I'm not anti-AI. I think it's quite nice, and it can actually, it's very useful. But if you're using it to create content, that's when you're going to run into some real issues. I'm kind of a wait and see type of person here. The only time I use ChatGPT is in instances like if I want to write a book description for one of my books, or if I want to get some ideas generated. I never go and try to get them to write the actual content for me for this very reason, because I don't want to end up stealing Paul Tremblay's book that ends up getting turned into a movie with Dave Bautista. Love me some Dave Bautista, by the way. Awesome wrestler. All right, moving a little further forward, TickTock. I've shared with this in the past how ByteDance actually launched a publishing company, but little did we know they actually were already propositioning some indie authors, more importantly, some romance authors. And a couple of romance authors have actually reported this. So this is pretty interesting. The pitch delivered in a generic email was impersonal and formulaic. The terms weren't generous, sometimes amounting to just a few $1,000s for the rights to a book. Look at TickTock over here trying to, put their chintzy like ad rates that they do on their normal stuff for monetization. Get out of here, TickTock. $3,000 for the rights to a book. Good one. I'm sure there's probably going to be some people that are going to sell the rights to their book for something like that. Folks, don't do that. Don't do that. That's probably not a good idea. Now, unless, of course, you want to do that. You're a ghostwriter and you want to sell those type of things. All right, moving further forward, here's a great Amazon KDP alternative called Vervante. I've talked about them in the past, and I'm going to be talking about them really soon because I spoke with the founder, and there's going to be an interview on this channel coming real soon where I chat about some of the options that they have. But they actually have added some new add-on options to their 2023 planner. You can get foil stamped front cover, a soft touch lamination, printed end sheets, glued pockets, ribbon marker, perforated cards to be shared or used as motivation or inspiration, horizontal format for weekly spreads, kiss cut stickers, die cut tabs with clear mylar on the tabs, and foil stamp snap-in bookmark. They have so many options you will not find anywhere else. And the nice thing is, they've got distribution to Amazon. Ooh, not bad. I highly recommend just looking into Vervante. Take them for a spin. If you like them or dislike them, let me know for sure. I want to hear from you. All right, this one actually is something that just blew up over on Twitter, and I actually found this by way of Jane Friedman through her hot sheet, and I believe there was one other, it might have been Nate Gillick from Later Press. By the way, big shout out to Nate, he's my boy. But at any rate, Caitlin Lynch had shared some very interesting insights. The AI bots have broken Amazon. Take a look at the bestsellers in teen and young adult contemporary romance ebooks top 100 chart. I can see 19 actual legit books out of the 100. The rest are AI nonsense, clearly there to click farm. And what is Amazon doing about it? And she actually was able to break down how some of these books have 0 reviews. They have a rank of 2,300 in the entire Amazon store. And she says, this will be absolutely the death knell for KU if Amazon cannot kill this off. The KMP payout will have, and writers will pull their books in droves. I honestly thought Amazon had a handle on the click farms. Clearly not. So what's happening is people are churning out garbage publications. Chances are very likely they've probably found some AI program that said, oh, you can go ahead and publish some of these things. By the way, some of the ones that she showcased are hot garbage. They're really, really bad. Like, the covers are bad enough as it is, but the titles are so confusing. You can clearly see that whoever put it out, English was not their first language. But click farms work like this. So you end up uploading your ebook to KDP. They distribute it. And then they send their link to some person that is outsourced or a team of people that will go in and check out the book on Kindle Unlimited, therefore influencing the rank. Hence why this ridiculous, 2,300, by the way, inside the Kindle store, you're having dozens of buys per day, or in some instances, dozens of checkouts per day. So how long will these type of people last? I don't know, but it certainly starts to bring up and into question how Amazon KDP needs to be a lot more fastidious about vetting out some of these undesirables, because they're just leaving it up to their customers to report abuse or report low content or low quality content. And that's not good. In instances like this, it really puts a black eye on the self-publishing industry and on Amazon in general. So I anticipate that there's going to be a massive hammer coming down. It's come down in the past because click farms are not an old thing. They've been around for years. I just thought that they disappeared. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm wrong. All right, moving over to the next item here inside the news actually comes from the AP News, and unfortunately, it's locking up things over here on my end. So let me go ahead and give you the TLDR on things. There are bogus online reviews that are getting cracked down by the FTC. That's the Federal Trade Commission. And what they're looking at, more importantly, are paid reviews, selling fake social media engagement, and suppressing honest reviews. So this is very, very, very much a great step in the right direction. If you've been the type of person out there that has been buying your reviews to be posted on Amazon, first of all, shame on you. And you probably aren't listening to this, podcast anyways. But you're going to get caught. And suppressing honest reviews, I'm not sure how anybody would suppress honest reviews on Amazon, but I'm sure there's probably a way to do this. Don't do it, because at this point, they are going to start fining people, and FTC likes money. And I think they even referred to the time when, like YouTube with the whole COPPA thing, where they called it shooting fish in a barrel. Like, they knew that they can go ahead and have a cash cow and be able to take down YouTube channels that weren't following FTC guidelines, and they could easily make money. Well, they're going to easily make money on this type of stuff when they start to see if you're making any type of fake reviews or deceptive internet practices. So fair warning, if you are doing that, your days are numbered. All right, this next item comes up from the fun folks over at Miblart. Oddly enough, they are the sponsors here of this podcast and, of course, the main channel. Their birthday's coming up. They are turning 7 on July the 12th, and they're so happy to create breathtaking book covers and designs all the time for you. And they are now offering an exclusive 15% off all their services, including book cover design, redesign, marketing materials, logos and branding, and so much more. Use the coupon code BIRTHDAY15 between July 6th to July 12th to get 15% off. Use my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Miblart. You can go ahead and get yourself set up with a cover design, my preferred cover design. And speaking of, I think it's important that I go ahead and do a really quick plug here, because we are currently running a giveaway for a Miblart book formatting and layout package. So if you want to get your book formatted and layout by the best in the business, Miblart is running a giveaway with me. You can enter for a chance to get a professional formatting and layout for your book. That's at dalelinks.com/giveaway. And of course, their sister company, Get Covers, is doing, this is their 4th part in the 4-part series, for a premium movie poster design package that's worth $35. You can enter over at dalelinks.com/getcoversgiveaway. All right, moving over to BookBrush. BookBrush is actually going to be putting on a webinar here with the Platinum Author Academy. Now, if you are subscribed to their Platinum level membership, this will only apply to you. Now, if you aren't in the Platinum level membership, my apologies, but you want more details about BookBrush, actually, I use them personally myself, really love them. I've got the Platinum plan. They have so many great, fantastic features. Go over to bookbrush.com, get yourself signed up. At any rate, though, if you're a Platinum level member, you can actually get this exclusive webinar, level up your newsletter, and get more subscribers. Their details about this is running your author newsletter can feel a lot feel like a lot of work, but the most important marketing tool you have as an author. I know it sounds like the old tech, but there's still no better way to reach readers and make rabid superfans than with your own newsletter. And the creator of BookFunnel, Damon Courtney, is here to tell you how you can level up your newsletter game and start or continue building that subscriber list. I think there's no better expert to bring on to something like this than the person who actually founded BookFunnel. So big shout out to Damon Courtney there of BookFunnel. Really glad to see BookBrush working with this. This is on July the 12th at 2 p.m. and it's free as long as you are a platinum member. And if you're feeling a little left out and you're like, hey, I want to get involved with something BookBrush related, well, good news is the fine folks over at Story Origin are going to actually be working with the COO of BookBrush. And they're going to be talking about find out how she was able to pitch session that led to a book and TV deal. She was really excited about that, by the way. Love me some Dana. Dana is just a fantastic individual. But you can get more details about that when you visit the link. Of course, it's on July 14th at 12 p.m. I definitely want to tune in myself because I'm super, super curious on how that went. You know, I probably can just call her up and ask her, but I think I'm probably just going to show up there along with everybody else. All right, moving further forward here, coming from Victoria Strauss over at writerbeware.blog. She shares how scammers are using Amazon and Amazon trademarks to rip writers off. Okay, here's your TLDR on this one right here. There are companies that are pretty much cold prospecting authors. What they do is they find out information, you know, whether it's your email address or they find your phone number, and then they try to pretend like they're related to Amazon in some capacity by using their trademark being the Amazon with the Amazon smile, or they use the trademark colors, or they use the Amazon name, or they use the KDP name. Folks, focus on, first of all, if you get an email and it seems too good to be true, the very first thing you should ever do is check to see where the email's coming from. Don't automatically assume it's coming from KDP, because if it does not say it's coming from Amazon.com, it's probably not from them. And at that point, mark it as spam, move on. I think we need to build a lot more awareness around this because there are a lot of people that are new to this business that are getting scammed with things like this. And I think it's rather egregious that any company tries to name themselves off of Amazon or KDP in some capacity. If you are a company that's using Amazon, KDP, or Kindle inside the name of your company, shame on you. That is not your intellectual property and you are scamming people. So to me, I think that if you're going to run a business, do it the right way. Now, if these people aren't watching my podcast, they don't even care about that thing. So I want you to share this piece out with as many people as you possibly can so no people are going to be hurt. Now, here comes the main event of things. I shared with you how there is a new company that actually new to me that actually just announced recently some big news. The name of the company is Book Vault. Now, Book Vault is actually a print-on-demand company. They will publish, print, and sell globally. They have wide distribution. They're based out of the UK. I've got an interview with the company that's going to be launching here relatively soon here on the podcast channel. And also I'll be covering Book Vault more in depth. But on July the 5th, they officially announced that they got US distribution. This was something that they were lacking originally, but now they have this. So this means that we now have a viable competitor to something like KDP print. We have something that is different. And not to mention Book Vault actually has options you can't get anywhere else. And I can sit here and share with you all of these different options that they have here. But what I will say is stay tuned to this channel. The good news is I've heard nothing but great things. In fact, when I did a recent video on the print-on-demand companies where I was comparing all of them, I swear to you, every single occasion there was a Book Vault fan of some sort that would say, why didn't you say anything about Book Vault? I just didn't know. I was just getting used to them. I was just getting to know what they were doing. Well, just so happens, just now, they launched US distribution, so I no longer have an excuse of not sharing more about Book Vault. What I would recommend is go visit bookvault.app. Now that's vault like as in like a bank vault. So bookvault.app, visit that, kick around, look around there, see all the options they have there and see why I'm gushing so much about them and how I feel those of you that are really jaded by Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing or have had your accounts terminated Book Vault might be the option for you to kind of look into in the very near future. Yes, they do have some setup fees, but if you stay tuned to this channel, I actually have a coupon code. Unfortunately, I can't remember it off the top of my head. I should have shared this with you, but I'm sure that you'll show back up here some point or another. What do you think about those items inside the news? Was there any particular thing that I missed over the past couple of weeks? Definitely would love to hear from you over on Discord. Join me in my community at dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll catch you in next week's news. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.